Gwen Preston of Resource Maven. We're here at the Metals Investor Forum. It's late September already in Vancouver. And I'm joined by Macdonald of Fireweed. We haven't spoken in a little bit now, at least not on camera.
Maybe? Or...
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But you've been very busy, which makes sense. Your project's in the Yukon. You have to make the most of your exploration season that you have up there.
Yeah.
So why don't you take me through what you're drilling? I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the goals of that drilling, but I think the really interesting or the really exciting part of the story right now is sort of precisely how you're honing that focus.
Yeah, you know, we when our PEA came out, we were very happy with the results of that. But a PEA is not just a guide for investors; it's a guide for management to know where your margin is and how you improve it.
Right.
So
That's
we took the lessons from that and looked at where is the money being made in this mine plan.
Okay.
And I mean, not surprisingly, it's coming from the high grade, right? I mean, this is not like rocket science, but it was slightly more complicated than that. It's like it has to be good grade. Mm-hmm. It has to be either close to somewhere else you're already mining, so don't have a lot of
development
to get there, mm-hmm. or open pitable or something like that, right? So. That's really what we focused on this year was how do we add more tons that are meaningful? Right. You take the Tom West zone, for example, there's a high grade component of it. Mm-hmm. And as you progress into that high grade component, we knew that you would eventually reach the fault that's the source of the fluids and that the high grade would abruptly end, mm-hmm. right? So as you progress into that is a bit of a risk. And we know that on the other end of Tom West, there's depth, nice, big, fat intersections, but unimpressive grade, Okay. So you could cynically build tonnage by drilling the deep stuff, but it doesn't move the needle on the economics if it even makes it into the mine plan. So we drilled 20 holes this year. I would say most 12. I mean, some it's hard to describe exactly whether they're a step out or an infill because it's kind of a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Most were step out. Okay. 15 of the 20 hit, mm-hmm. and were sent away. Some missed, so like Tom West, for example, we found where the fault was.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's useful.
Now you know
where the system's bounded. Tom East, we did a step out to depth, and that's what we announced last week, and that was a screamer.
I mean, that hole is one of the best base metal intercepts around.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal hole.
And it was not exactly where we expected. It suggests more structural complexity, which actually is good because that structural complexity gives us some sense that previous holes that may have been thought to sterilize it in one direction clearly don't.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, we hit 16 meters intersected with between 5 and 12 meters true width. I appreciate that's a large range. That's the structural complexity. We don't know exactly what's going on there. But 21% zinc, 13.5% lead, and 240 grams silver. I mean,
that's like mostly metal.
Yeah.
Like there's hardly anything in there that isn't just metal.
And when that's coming out of the drill, you're like, what the?
What?
That we're very happy with that.
Yes.
And the implications of that are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've got 14 more holes to come back.
Right.
This is one more in Tom East. There's let's see, 5 near end zone, 4 of which were sent away, so that's 4 there. And then the rest basically in Tom West is a combination of step out and infill.
So you mentioned end zone.
Yeah.
End zone's an area you haven't drilled before. It's part of the bigger, let's see if we can find other zones that have the good grade and are reasonably easy to access, so either near surface or close to development, so that, again, add to the economics. And we haven't heard anything from End Zone, except that you kept drilling once you started drilling there, so I'm assuming you were finding...
And we made it clear in our last news release that actually everything we drilled into End Zone was sent to the lab. So the zone was intersected, right? Obviously the width and grade TBD with results. And that was kind of the question. The end zone is definitely the proof that there are more systems there. Mm. What can we hit there? And the continuation of that, the exploration work really delineated this continuing trend that we want to test next year that really suggests a lot of blue sky.
And then, so now we're looking at the project as it sort of is, which is the deposits that you're currently delineating that are sort of feeding into the mine plan as it evolves.
Yeah.
And then you have the bigger picture, the regional work. So you've obviously consolidated a really big land position there, very underexplored. You did a lot of soil sampling, you did gas sampling. You're out there looking to see whether this is more of a camp, and that matters. The market cares a lot about the mine plan, the grades, the drilling. Corporates who are probably looking at you are equally going to be interested in, is there other stuff out there?
Yeah, and I think everyone likes to say that this is a district, because all you need to do to arm wave district is have a district scale land package.
Right.
But to actually demonstrate a district, you need to show some sort of provable and repeatable thesis.
Right.
Right? So Tom, Jason, end zone, 3 systems for sure.
Good start.
These continuing anomalies along trend, along what we believe is the basin bounding fault, very intriguing and to be tested next year, and we think are possibly more systems.
Right. So that'll be interesting to add to the 14 more drill results that you have coming out in the near term. Is this regional work? Well, congrats on a busy, what I'm sure was a very busy exploration season, and I look forward to all the results pouring out through the fall.
Great.
Thanks.